So, welcome to Advocacy 101, quick and easy tips. These are the slides from Jen O'Connor, who is the policy advocate for Prevent Child Abuse New York. For some reason, Collaborate did not cooperate today, and the microphone was not working. I've done many of these presentations and it's always worked, but for some day it didn't. So I'm going to go through the slides that Jen did, and I think I've heard her many times, so the information is very accurate. And again, advocacy is important. So this is your service learning project that you are advocating for a specific issue. So once I post the issues, I want you to pick an issue that you are really passionate about, and those issues will be posted relatively soon. So, please listen to this thoroughly, and you do not have to write anything on it. I'm going to eliminate that component of this for now, okay? So I hope you enjoy the rest of this presentation. So what is advocacy? Educating, informing, telling a story, bringing about change. And lobbying is actually some kind of communication with the legislature, staff, or through a call to action that refers to specific legislation, takes a position on legislation, and or recommends lobbying action on that legislation. So for purposes of this assignment, you are going to pick an issue that you are passionate about and that you will be advocating for. And so really, if you've ever talked to a teacher about a grade, talked to your doctor about your remote, fought over your cell phone or remote, you are already an advocate, because people sometimes think it's some great big deal, but actually it is advocating, becoming knowledgeable about something, about an issue, which you will when I post those particular issues for you, okay? And so you're going to pick an issue that you're interested in advocating for. For purposes of this assignment, it is going to be something with children. So I'm going to post those issues, but it could be the environment, could be voters' rights, could be healthcare, could be anything in particular. And so why is it important? It's part of the democratic process, and you have to ask for what you want. A lot of these elected officials, they're knowledgeable in issues, but they're not knowledgeable sometimes in your specific issue. So they really count on us to inform them on these particular issues. And advocacy during COVID, Jen spoke about how, people aren't going down to the Capitol anymore, and we've had to adapt, we've had to pivot, and things don't always go right. I tried to have Jen on here, and somehow, Blackboard did not cooperate with the microphone. So luckily I had her slides, but advocacy is still very important, and I find a lot of times people don't know kind of a lot about advocacy. So who are your elected officials? So hopefully you recognize our new governor, Governor Kathy Hochul. And then you are going to find addresses of your local elected officials. And remember, there is a slot under there where you're going to pop the address, because it is worth some points. And so New York State Senate, the blue is the Democrats and the red is the Republicans. So right now we have the majority of the Democrats. Same thing with the Assembly, 150 members, and the majority are the Democrats at this point in time. So who's who? Our federal senator, Senator Charles Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand are our federal senators, but you may choose to do your elected assembly people. So that's why you're going to look up the particular addresses of them. And what can you do in 5 minutes? Okay, you can make a phone call to them. You can send an email. You can sign a petition. You can tweet and retweet. Jen said most people are sending messages by tweeting. You can post on Facebook and Instagram, and introduce yourself to somebody important. When I remember once I was out in, I think maybe it was Walmart, and I passed Senator Jim Tedisco, and I had been in there so much he actually recognized me. So I reintroduced myself to him. I've seen Congressman Paul Tonko in Stuyvesant Plaza, stopped to chat with him. So for purposes of this assignment, though, I'm going to have you, actually write a letter, and you're going to mail it snail mail, just so you get kind of practice doing that at this point in time. And then that I can read the assignment, and I want you to really, write about why you are, advocate for that particular issue. And so, think outside the usual suspects. If you're out in the community, if you're talking to friends, if you're on social media, one of my passions is childcare. So whenever I have a moment and somebody brings up children, I'm always, advocating for children and why we need more childcare and why early childhood is important. So, make sure that you particularly do that. So Jen tells us no matter who you are talking to, it's called an elevator speech for a reason. So think about if you were kind of in an elevator with one of these elected officials. You only have a minute or two, so you have to get all your facts together. You have to be really concise. So when you write your letter, you're going to put at the top of it what the issue is, and then in maybe 5 or 6 sentences, not more than a paragraph, really say why it's important. And she uses the analogy of the suitcase and the shot glass. What she means by that is, you don't want to go on and on and on and have so much words it fills the whole suitcase. You want to know what you can say, in a little tiny glass, okay? And then always make sure you stop and smile. And at the end of your letter, make sure you, thank the particular make sure you thank the elected official, okay? So again, I apologize that the audio for some reason was not working, but I think I managed to capture just about, probably not everything, but almost everything that Jen said. And then be comfortable advocating for the issue. So for purposes of this assignment, you're going to pick a issue that you're really passionate about, okay? That kind of maybe affects your life or the life of somebody you know. And then think about what prevents you from taking action on an issue. Do you think maybe you don't have enough time, or you're not a good writer, or you're not prepared? But really, you are probably more prepared and know more information than some of the elected officials on a particular topic, only because they get so many topics. So, advocacy is important. You are doing, this is service learning. So you are really, doing something very, very valuable. So I commend you, and please, give me a call or pop me an email, or better yet, come into my office if you have any specific questions. But please listen to all the recordings. I think I've made it pretty clear on what the assignment is. Okay, so thank you for listening, and have a great day.